Cyberpunk 2077's Night City is home to many gangs, each with its own rich history and lore. While gangs such as the Maelstrom were formed out of the remains of a former gang, and the Tiger Claws employed the methods of Asian crime syndicates such as the Yakuza or the Triads, one of the coolest gangs in the city, the Mox, has an origin steeped in tragedy. Unlike other gangs who claimed huge territories in Night City, the Mox mostly kept to themselves and work around Lizzie's bar, which also serves as the gang's headquarters in protecting their own. The Mox was formed due to the death of Elizabeth "Lizzie" Borden, a former prostitute and well-known strip club owner in Kabuki, Watson. Borden was considered to be fair with her treatment of her Joy Toy workers and would defend them from violent clients, even if it meant losing business in the process, which made her a popular figure within the community and surrounding areas. However, when one of Lizzie's Joy Toys was brutally raped and murdered by Tiger Claw members in her club, Lizzie avenged her by killing 3 of the assailants with an axe. She then went on to display their bodies in front of the club, proclaiming the same would happen to anyone else who hurt a sex worker. Unfortunately, however, the Tiger Claws returned later that night and destroyed Lizzie's business, eventually finding and murdering her in retaliation. Lizzie's death led to massive riots throughout Night City, with many of the protesters targeting the Tiger Claws members and businesses. The Mox was formed in the process by bringing together those who felt threatened and oppressed, especially among sex workers and sexual minorities. Following the riots, the Mox took up the role of the protector of Night City's sex workers. Using Lizzie's principles as their own, several of Borden's former workers and supporters rebuilt the strip club along with a newly formed gang to serve as the Mox's headquarters. The club was then named Lizzie's Bar to honor its former owner. The Mox's name derives from the old slang term Moxie, due to the gang's determination and perseverance when standing up against their oppressors, as Borden once did. The Roman numeral for 5 and the number 13 are displayed below the Mox's logo, tattooed on most of the gang's members, and portray the death anniversary of Elizabeth Borden and the official birth of the Mox. While many members continue their sex work at the club and other brothels around the city, many may have a plastic doll style reminiscent of Joy Toys and dolls for the pleasure of clients. These are often disguises for the real skin cyberware to hide their combat-ready implants. While the gang does wear outfits that are a mix of punk aesthetic and inexpensive fashion worn typically by prostitutes, their attire is designed to never restrict their movements, making them always ready for a fight, even if they don't intentionally seek out violence. The Mox doesn't have a coherent hierarchy. They do have a definite leader, Susanna Quinn, aka Susie Q. Since taking charge of the Mox, Susie Q began to treat the gang as more of a business, and by the events of Cyberpunk 2077, the Mox began demanding fees for their protection services. This has caused some conflict within the gang, as some believe it goes against Borden's original principles, and the protection should be free. However, Susie Q believes it's the best way to keep the gang and their business afloat, and will still welcome those who seek refuge.